What's up, you mother fathers? This is Becton 99 communicating with you from the void once again. I guess today, or yesterday technically, 2K dropped the news for NBA 2K26. Part of this I've shared a little bit before, but I kind of randomly, whenever NBA 2K18 was out, I I just got like a hankering for. I was like, bro, I want a fake dunk on LeBron James, you know? And wherever I was doing in my life and in my work life, I had like a busy schedule, but on my off days, I didn't really have shit going on, and I had like ample time to just game. So it was kind of that was kind of a fun time, just being that kind of free, or like how hard I could chill, I guess, on my off days. But so I went to like Target, local Target, picked it up, physical copy, took the game home. I obviously played like Sega and Nintendo and all kinds of basketball games, NBA Live, but I had gotten away from sports titles for a long time. Like I stopped playing Madden at like Madden '05 or some shit like that. And for the basketball, I was like, whatever. I wasn't really into basketball um, like that anymore. Like obviously when I was a kid, you watch, Michael Jordan, Shaq, and Kobe and whatever. But during that period, like, I don't know, going back to even 2009 when Steph Curry came into the league, I didn't really care. I obviously knew who LeBron was, blah, blah, blah. But during that whole, whatever, let's say Curry getting drafted until NBA 2K18, I didn't play. So I bought the 2K18, took it home, installed it, and I didn't even know about VC. Like they had just like maybe started with VC, and maybe VC prices were, cute. They weren't, breaking your pockets or whatever. But I didn't even do that. I just literally, I made a center. This is how cooked my thinking was back then. I made a center, and he couldn't shoot, and I just was in my career playing the computer until I got enough money or VC to max him out. And then once I got him, into like the 90 or whatever the road to 99 was, I kept seeing people when I would log on to the game, the hub or whatever it was in the little city or neighborhood, whatever it was. I was like, bro, man, I don't know. I think I'm pretty good. I kind of want to see how good I am. So I didn't even have PlayStation Plus at that point. I got the week-long subscription. I went to the park. I got dropped off a couple times, but I was still into it. And then I even made I think I made a second build after the week trial online, and I think it was like some type of slasher, and I still wasn't getting it. I still wasn't thinking threes. So that was like my 2K18 experience, like my first time venturing online and playing and whatever. So, I copped 19, I copped 20. Eventually, whenever they were talking about it was coming to PS5, I was like anticipating a graphical jump. But I didn't know what company I was dealing with. So we moved past innovation in video games. There is just microtransactions. The companies want to make, they're not happy with you making that initial purchase. They want you to keep making purchases. They want you to be online all the time. Blah, blah, blah. Eventually they shut down the servers. Blah, blah, blah. So when next gen was announced, I was like, bro, the graphics are going to have to be crazy, because that's everything we've ever experienced in the past. When, obviously PC gaming is quote unquote elite. I've never had a crazy computer to where I could play something, where it's like almost gonna break the computer. And I suppose if I did do that or have that experience, it would be hard to go, back to PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. But I just kind of wish, they have the PS Pro or whatever, but it's like, I wish that PlayStation just made a high-end model that was like whatever the craziest PC could be, and I would just like to buy that, as opposed to just, having my own computer built or whatever the hell, But I guess to end that tangent, since I only play with PlayStations, I have that ignorance is bliss. I've never been in any gamer's house and seen, what it looks like on his monitor, and then I'm like, oh shit, bro, how could I go back to mine? I just see whatever, level of graphics, PS5 or 4 or 3 or 2 has had. I haven't really made myself open to seeing, high crystal quality gaming. And I guess if you did do that, it'd be hard to play on the consoles or whatever. And then on top of that, you had the modding scene. So I get it, but I just never been a part of it. So when next gen was coming out, I really did believe that the graphics were going to get crazy. One of the other things people don't talk about that 2K did, one of the biggest finesses in the world, they said, hey y'all, since it's the pandemic, we're not going to do a demo this year. And that wasn't they could have still did the demo, dog. But they did that. They lied to us to wean us off of it, and then took it away and never brought it back. That's a cold game right there. 2K does the fucking community day, and I'm like, bro, the way digital shit works, the way you can lock certain content, when community day comes out, the way to make community day really hype is if whatever they're playing there, let us play it at home, and we can watch the live stream on our phones or tablets or whatever, and it's like we not there, but we seeing this shit happen when the people come out. And then obviously, what's his name, all the Joe Knows, all those kind of people, they're still going to get their views and their numbers or whatever. But, it's like creating fake anticipation and hype, I guess. But it's like, you don't have to do that. They have a monopoly, but they only use that monopoly power to be nefarious. You could give us a demo because you have a monopoly, but they go, we have a monopoly, we don't have to give them the demo, right? So the graphical leap that I was expecting from PS4 to PS5 never happened in most games. Like, I haven't played a game since PS5 came out where I was like, ooh, I think the most thing that we got out of this whole generation was like less loading screens. But I haven't played a game where I felt like the graphics were like changing, my life experience or whatever. So the new 2K26 pre-orders came out, and they're advertising, this is where I really wanted to get to. They're advertising that you can play the game a week early, and I'm like, this is finesse. The game is not coming out early. The game is coming out on the 29th of August, or whatever the day is that it comes out. And what they're saying is, give us $100 if you want to play, or we will delay you a week and we'll still charge you $70. But what we're hoping is to get that extra 30 from everyone because of FOMO, or fear of missing out. So I'm like, it's not even it's a fairly obvious tactic or mental jujitsu. The game comes out September 5th, but if you want to give me more money, if you want to start saying or indicating that you can spend $100 a game, give me $100. Then the minute you load up, give me another $100 to make a build, right? People were saying, hey, 2K is there was a rumor that 2K was gonna get rid of the old gen versions. And for a second, I had two thoughts. I said, damn, okay. I was almost kind of proud of 2K. I was like, damn, that's good, man. They saying no to that money. But then I thought the other thing that made my ear perk up was, I was thinking, well, damn, if they do that, I know they finna raise up the VC prices, because they got to make that money back somehow, right? So you have this fan base or client customer base that wants this persistent fantasy, right? The fantasy is we love the iconography of the jerseys, which is the Bulls, whether it's Michael Jordan, whether, seeing Kobe's murals or whatever. And basketball, as you get older or younger, you figure out that maybe you're not going to the NBA yourself. And you could go to a gym and play basketball, but it's like, bro, in IRL, I probably could never fucking shoot from half court. But on this game, I can, right? And then the other part of it is, to me at least, how I view the game, it's just like a digital or a digital way of playing chess. Just imagine like people wake up on Saturdays to go to the park and play chess with other people, and you do a little mental exercise. 2K is like that. It's like you're wherever you are, you make your build, you go online, you say, did I make something better than this other person? Or did this other person's build expose my build? What is my build? Then you go to the side of it where you're like, you kind of want to be, or have to be, if you only play random, you have to be subjected to these other people. And so you go, you get a mild, push from watching these people, infuriate you, really. You're like, damn. So the new 2K26, I have zero hope for it. In the crazy sense where it's like, they show the screenshots, the game doesn't fucking look like that. Half the time we play, right, we need the camera to see the whole court, so we never even see that level of detail if it was there, and I don't think it is, right? So they have these fucking crazy ass screenshots that doesn't even represent what the game looks like to your eye, right? If the new game comes out, or when it comes out, they're just gonna say, oh, we got these badges, or we got less badges, or badge +1, cap breakers, all this shit. It's gonna be the same thing, right? And that's sad to me, because I really think the game could be amazing, right? Like the fundamentals are there, the bare bones, the structure, but they're not innovating. It's the same shit every year. When you buy the new game, I'm gonna have to buy all the shoes that I make in the game for the rec to match, I have to buy those shoes again. But they're the same shoes. It's gonna be Kobe's and Jordans, and maybe one or two new shoes that they add. Same shoes. My person, it's gonna be one of the same heights. Attributes, whatever the attributes, change the attributes a little bit. But I'm like, bro, I'm still trying to go 99. Can I go 99? Fuck. All right. It's almost like it's the same build. Almost like it's the same game. They don't fucking change the rec. They just announced something that the Rucker Park the Rucker Park has their licensing rights back or whatever, so maybe one day we can get the Rucker Park in the game. But it's like, fuck that, bro. Make the rec. I want to have 12 different recs. If 2K, like how in Madden they have the different stadiums, if 2K just scanned all the stadiums in there, the rec could have a revolving algorithm to put you in different arenas, or whatever. Or hell, there could be 1 week where it's like retro, where we play on old courts, like the Seattle Supersonics courts, and one team is the Supersonics and one team is the other team, or one team would be the Lakers and one team would be the Celtics. All kinds of shit, right? But they're like, no, you're gonna have one fucking gym the whole year. Change the floor, change the colors. No, fuck that. Start adding gyms every month, every fucking month. Pay someone to do that. Pay an AI to do it. So the graphics are not going to change, bro. It's going to be Nick, tell you the truth, the graphics have been the same since fucking 2K20. The graphics have peaked, and not because of the materials or the talent. They literally don't care. They just go, hey man, here's a picture of Shy SGA. This is 25. No, but look at 26. See, it's lighter. We turned up the brightness. That's it. So it puts me in a weird position, because it's like I'm really getting close to my breaking point, because it's like the experience is bad. I'm playing on high risk. I can only really play in the rec, because if you try to go to proving grounds, since they don't have a random proving ground, whenever you go, you take your character in there, it can be hard for you to find a game. If you want to play center, you damn near sure ain't gonna get no game, because most people that come in there squatted up, they bring a center. So you get in there and you have to play with random people, with random squads of people, against potentially a full squad of other people. So it's like, that's never been fair, and I'm glad that's why they took it out of the random rec. It's like, no, bro. Especially if the game doesn't differentiate those losses. Like, it should look different. Yeah, I lost to a 5-man squad playing with some assholes that I didn't know, and they threw the ball around me. They played buddy ball. They sold the game. How is that my fault? So it's like, why even walk in there? But then you go to the rec, and everyone can shoot whites. And the whites, man, it's like, fuck, bro. The game will make you miss on high risk, or just in general. The game, you'll shoot 2 threes. You gotta miss the third one. So that code is in there. By the same token, if the three that the dude is gonna make on a white is about to change the complexity of the game, he gotta miss that shit. Don't let that go in. Hell no. Like a white late or early for game, or to win the game, or overtime purposes or any fucking thing. No, don't let him make that, because he should have to green that in that situation, because that's when the shot fucking counts. You know? I've had, this is another thing, and I'm almost done. I had a game where I was missing my threes. The game was making me miss. We go down by 15 or some shit like that. This is random wreck. My teammates are quitting. Whatever the fuck's happening. I'm just trying to thug it out because maybe I already had, rage quit earlier or some shit. And then I made a three, bro. And that shit hurt my heart because it was like, yo, what the fuck? It was like, bro, there's supposed to be no volume shooter in the game, So it's not like how many shots I take, I can make the next one or whatever. But maybe that shit is in the game. But the point is, I'm saying if I shot the ball the same way that I shot it earlier in the game, when it mattered, when we were trying to stop the bleeding, when there was time for momentum, I shoot it, clank, game makes me miss. Fourth quarter, in the fourth quarter, I want to miss that shot. Because then it becomes, if I make the shot, it's 2K being petty and adding insult to injury. Because you just insulted my intelligence. How the fuck did I even miss it to begin with? Why did you put me in a situation where, my team is looking at me and they're like, oh, he can't shoot. Fuck. And then once the game is already decided, there's no way we're coming back. Hey, green window's pure again. So, I say all that to say, I will probably buy NBA 2K26. I'm going to try to limit myself to one build. But it's like, I don't know. I can't wait to hear Mike Wang come back and start lying. I want to hear his 12,000 new animations. There's an idea that I'll say here because I'm confident no one else is going to listen to this but me. I think after GTA 6 comes out, since Take-Two Interactive owns both companies, they own like Rockstar and they own 2K Games, they should make it to where your 2K character can go to GTA Online, and have it to somewhere into some way where you can leave your house in GTA, get in your car, and then drive to pretty much the airport or some shit, or a stadium or something, or just drive to a certain bridge that's going to take you to 2K. And that way you could be like, hooping. You could do your workouts in GTA or whatever, go to the little gym there, blah, blah, blah. Come over here and, in GTA you can kill some people, go on some missions. You can actually have a salary. They don't want this either, but maybe your salary from 2K could be in your GTA money. So, but they want you to buy GTA money. But I think that could be some cool interactivity between the two games, where it's like my dude is pretty much like a fucking psycho killer, but nobody knows, right? And I do all this shit on GTA Online, and then when I want to go hoop with my same guy, same design, face, everything, I just load over. Since the game is owned digitally, those two applications should work together, same company, and load me into 2K. And then when I want to go back to GTA, I just pull out the phone and should just fly me back and go back and forth. So you have two games where your character is doing more things than he can do on 2K. Like you can't fight on 2K, but we can go on GTA Online, you know what I'm saying, and punch each other or whatever, So like the 1v1, it would really change the whole dynamic of it, It's like, so that's something that I would do, and then that would put, help you live that fantasy a little more, that you actually do play in the NBA, and then you leave the gym and you get in your car. If you really want to get, freaky deaky, we can have girlfriends again in GTA or whatever. Whatever. Just live the dream. And I don't know. I could see that working. So thank you for listening. FBI Becton out.